Hey guys, it is day 20 something. Was it 5? Is it 5?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Everything's a blur.
26.
20. You know, you guys saw the title. You know what it is. And today we watched The Shining. He's shining a pumpkin? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. I love The Shining. It's one of my favorite movies. I know you don't like it as much, but
Yeah. Cinematically, it's great filmmaking, and it's beautiful, and I mean, it's strange that I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, every time I watch it, I'm just like, why don't I like this? But yeah, there's just something about it that I can't. I can't immerse myself in it.
Okay.
There's some distance between me and the story and stuff that
Okay.
I can't kind of get into it at all.
A lot of people, it's the plotting nature of it.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it in a lot of cases. Like the first part of the movie when they're getting a tour of the hotel from the staff, and basically their interactions with each other, everything's really flat.
Yeah.
And intentionally flat because when things go nuts, it makes it even more dichotomy between how they normally are. And there's also like a lovelessness to it, like to how especially Shelley, Wendy and Jack interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it makes it more kind of like uneasy. Like, this doesn't seem right. Something's not
Yeah.
right. something unnatural about the way they talk to each other and interact with each other. But like I said in the last video, I saw this when I was a little kid. Probably not appropriate for a little kid. It's not like gory or anything.
No,
but it's definitely intense for little eyes, I think. So I think that's part of why I like it. It's always been there. It's like it's probably the first horror movie I actually ever saw. What do you like about it?
I think a lot of it is mostly maybe like the cinematography, the way it's shot.
Kubrick movie.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
My favorites are the tracking shots behind the little boy.
When he's riding the bike.
When he's riding the bike, when he's running. Pretty much any time he's moving, the camera's directly behind him.
Yeah.
And just kind of following him and going. The kid had to have gotten in excellent shape. Just riding around in circles.
I think all kids are,
and
those are not lazy. I think all kids are in pretty good shape.
running around,
much energy.
But probably those are my favorite shots in the movie.
Yeah. I like I almost like the behind the scenes stuff more than the actual movie itself, or at least on the same level. They just did some crazy things when filming this movie. One thing, you can find all the trivia facts on IMDb, but there's also the making of on the DVD that we watched. But they shot everything in sequence, which is unheard of.
I can't think of anything else that's done that.
And it's downright crazy to do things that way. They had several sets working at once. Granted, they were mainly in the one set for most of the movie. And actually, I know they did a lot of exterior at a hotel somewhere in the States, or maybe then like the interior was on a sound stage.
Yeah.
But it was just it's nuts how many places they had to go just for different sequences.
Right.
One of my favorite things about the movie is like all the snow is fake.
Yeah,
it's styrofoam.
Yeah.
Which you think about how much snow is, especially the hedge-made sequence. I think they said something like 500 or 900 tons of styrofoam for the movie.
That's
which they're not allowed to do anymore.
I was gonna say styrofoam. That's probably the worst thing ever.
Yeah, but it shows. It's actually better snow than anything you see in movies nowadays because they use I forget what they use now.
Well, some people use like potato, like instant potato
stuff.
stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
I've heard of using.
There's the styrofoam. It glistens a little more. It's a little more natural looking than this. Anyway, I'm talking about snow. It's kind of crazy. But this is what this movie does. It makes you crazy. Jack Nicholson's one of his best performances of all time.
Yeah.
I love the guy. He does crazy like no other. but rarely. I don't think he's. Rarely, I think he's acting. I think it's just natural.
He's just he's just kind of a over the top kind of person.
Yeah. So when that also makes it grating when he's very subdued and trying to be
not crazy.
Not crazy at the beginning. It's still there. It's still crazy. So when he does go full blown Jack Nicholson on us, it's fun.
Yeah.
A lot of classic moments in this movie. A lot of things that have been parodied and canonized on people's lists. The here's Johnny line. Two twin girls in the hallway.
Tricycle riding.
The hedge maze. All that fun stuff. So it's a classic, and I think it's classic for a good reason. It's a solid, fantastic example of filmmaking. Some of my favorite shots in the movie are just the ones where no one's even saying anything, especially in the lobby. They make you feel isolated by. There's so much space in that hotel. The fotel, I guess. That there's so much room above him. Kubrick likes to use height to show, space and distance and isolation a lot. He did it in 2001 as well, where there's lots of room above people, and they're just below, and there's emptiness around them. So there's lots to love here. It is long, 2.5 hours around. It's just long. It's certainly long for a horror movie. And like we go back to another video that we
said
talked about.
It's an hour past our.
It's an hour past. I think the effective horror making. I don't even. I mean, it's a horror movie, but I classify this more as it's a movie.
Yeah, and that's as far as Kubrick goes, it's about average, maybe even a little bit on the short side.
Yeah. If you go and look at Film on the Jack or 2001 or all those classic
closer
movies.
to 3.
Yeah. So this is a little short for him. I always think it's funny that Stephen King hates this movie too.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Basically Kubrick did everything the opposite of what Stephen King wanted to do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Stephen King didn't want Jack Nicholson because he thought he was too crazy, and he wanted his character. The character in the book is supposed to be good at heart, who's just an alcoholic, and when he goes on a bender, he gets crazy. So he actually wanted John Voight as Jack Terrence, and he didn't want Shelley Duvall either because he thought she was too emotional. She looked too emotionally vulnerable. In the book, the character's more like a cheerleader type of person who's never had to deal with strife in her life before until he starts going crazy. So that's.
Did they? Because I know they remade it
in the miniseries. The miniseries is more like the book.
Is it more like the book? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I never saw the miniseries. I know it's got the guy from Wings.
It's not good. If they put a lot of effort into actually being faithful to the book, it would be a good movie in its own right. It'd be completely different than Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. But that's just artist interpretation, I suppose. Trying to think of some other good trivia nuggets, but you can go check those all out on IMDb.
I forgot to look what's.
I forgot to look what's up next too. We'll put it in the article. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
We're getting down to the wire.
Yeah, this might be.
We have Splinter left. I know Reanimator's last. I forget what else is in there.
Monster Squad.
The Mist is in there. Monster Squad's in there.
That only leaves like one more.
Yeah. Go look it up. It's one of those movies. I know it's not Reanimator because it's the last one.
Yeah. Monster Squad because that's like second or third to last.
I think that's second or third to last.
It might be.
Could be The Mist.
I think it actually might be The Mist. It's either The Mist or Splinter.
It's one of those two, I think.
Yeah. Well,
whatever.
Speculation.
Whatever. See, we prepared these videos in advance, obviously. We're done now.
And done.
End scene.
Bye.